Here's one. Is he coming our way? Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Put your
Double leg
finger
bite.
in, Ben. Yeah.
Yeah, Ben. Can we sacrifice Ben? No, don't
Just
you?
stop.
He's massive.
They do bite, don't they?
Probably a she if it's
I
big.
always tell people they don't.
Wow.
Yeah, they do.
So,
We often get kids.
it's not all about plants here in the Royal Botanic Gardens. We also have some incredible fauna on site. And again, every animal has a plant to tell. And in the case of the Australian long-finned eel, it's a quite incredible story or incredible journey. So these guys and girls actually born off the coast of New Caledonia. And in a nymphal stage, they jump on a current that brings them to the east coast of Australia. We call it the Nemo current now. It was the same current that brought that little clownfish down in the movie. So these little nymph eels get to the east coast of Australia, but they can't feed and grow in salt water. They need to find their way to fresh water. So they swim up through the estuaries. They can go as far as 200 kilometres inland. So they've been found on the other side of Sydney's major dam, Warragamba Dam. Once they find a nice run of fresh or at worst brackish water, they start feeding and they grow. They can live usually up to about 30 years. The females can get 3 metres or longer. The males are a little bit smaller, but once they reach sexual maturity, they start shutting down most of their bodily functions. So their anus contracts, can I say it? And they start passing waste. But they have all of this stored fat to live off because now they need to make their way back to the coast. So they need to then go down rivers, estuaries. They can slither across wet grass. So they've been filmed in Centennial Park, not far from here in Sydney, and they've been seen in the gardens going across the wet grass. Once they get into the ocean, they swim back to New Caledonia where they breed, the females spawn and they die. And the whole cycle starts again. Now for anyone who's as sporty as Donna living in Sydney, they would know why the Parramatta Rugby League Club is called the Parramatta Eels. And their logo is an Aboriginal man with a fishing gig fishing for eels. And that's because Parramatta is an anglicised version of the Darug name for that place. It's where one of Sydney's major rivers is, and it was Parramatta, and it meant place of eels, because where those smaller creeks emptied into the Parramatta River, the Darug people would harvest eels, either using fish traps, which were woven baskets, and maybe even by doing some form of eel farming. And we know from places in Victoria, they're very ancient eel farms, and in fact fish farms as well. And it's now thought that the oldest living structure on the planet is one of those fish damming structures from, again, around Cuddy Springs. So Parramatta is known as Place of Eels, became Parramatta, and that's why we have the Parramatta Eels football team. Dunskies.
Glad you did that.